Hey, thanks for joining the Jaw Live channel. I am, of course, Ja, and we're working towards the 100 live guitar practice streams, and today marks day 76. So, thank you so much for joining. I greatly do appreciate that. And as always, you know me by now. I like to, challenge you as well to pick up your guitar and, follow along, as best as you can. So, maybe learn some tips, learn some exercises, things like that. And let's just see how good we can get at the end of the 100 days. So one thing I like to mention though is the pinned comment section below. Always check that out. I leave a lot of details there, like kind of like written out and notes and things like that. So make sure you look at that. Copy and paste those notes to your own Word document or Excel spreadsheet or what have you, so that way you have them for your exercise routines. So but as you can tell by the thumbnail and the title and things like that, we'll be getting into some different chord progressions and some strumming patterns today. So if you've seen my other video on chord progressions that I've already made, those are some different chord progressions, very common chord progressions, but they're different. So make sure you also check that one out so that way you understand what those chord progressions are as well. But again, the pinned comment section below, I leave a lot of notes there. So make sure you check that out and, steal those notes. So I'm just happy to, help anybody I can, from a beginner to hopefully another beginner. Hopefully I can help, make a light bulb go off in somebody's head and be like, oh, okay, that's what they were talking about. So anyways, if you're into, guitar or, all things music or what have you, please, hit the subscribe button. That would be greatly appreciated. But let's go ahead and get into it today. We're going to start with some chord progressions. One of the chord progressions that we're going to work on today is the 2-5-1-6 chord progression. So some of the major keys that I hear people talk about are C and G. So of course, I want to learn, what the 2-5-1-6 chord progression would be for, D, E, F, all the different ones. But I've been hearing from a lot of the YouTube videos and the self-taught things that I'm, picking up on. It seems like C and G are the, more common ones. Let me know in the comments though on what you think. But yeah, since that's what I'm seeing so far, that's just what we're going to focus on. So the first one for the key of C or C major, the 2-5-1-6 pattern would be D, G, C, A. Okay. So you're like, well, how did you get that? How'd you figure that out? Okay. So you have the pattern 2-5-1-6. Write that down. 2-5-1-6. Okay. And you're in the key of C. So you need to figure out what the 2-5-1-6 pattern is. So you go C, D. Okay. So that's your 2. D is your 2. And then you need a 5. So you go C, D, E, F, G. Okay, your 5 is your G. So you have D, G so far. Now you need your 1. Well, you're in the key of C, so your 1 is C. So now you have D, G, C for your 2-5-1. Now you need your 6. So you go C, D, E, F, G, A. So your 6 is A in the key of C. So you have D, G, C, A. So now you just go play that pattern. D, G, C, A, D, G, C, A, D, G, C, A, D. Went out of order there. It's D, G, C, A. D, G, C. Okay. So again, we're messing around with chord progressions. Right now we're messing around with the 2-5-1-6 chord progression. So in the key of C, the 2-5-1-6 would be D, G, C, A. I said the C and the G are the more common keys that a lot of musicians play in. So those are the two that I'm learning, at least as of today, right? I'll eventually learn more, but as of today, we're doing C and G. We'll get into G here shortly, but we just want to keep repping out the C 2-5-1-6 pattern, which is D, G, C, A. We don't want to confuse ourselves and go into the G pattern right away. We've only, been 6 minutes in, and 2 or 3 of those minutes I've been talking. So we want to keep repping out the 2-5-1-6. Key of C, D, G, C, A. And you can do whatever strumming pattern you want. I was just doing a simple, downstroke twice and then switch into a different chord, 2 downstrokes, switch to a different chord. But you can do it however you want. If you know a cool strumming pattern or what have you, please let me know what it is in the comments below. I'd love to, start practicing that as well. Now I'm doing a down, down, up, down, 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 up, down type strumming pattern. See, that's why we got to rep this, many, many times. D, G, C, A. little bit out of order. Went to G right there, forgot the D right there at the very end. Everything else was sounding pretty good, I think. Be nice to listen to this back, see how it sounds. Everything before I started learning strumming patterns, I didn't learn strumming patterns first. I learned how to do the chord shapes. So every time when I was doing chord shapes in the past and trying to practice moving around, I had no like consistent like pattern. So the strumming, it's just all over the place. So I'm trying to get somewhat of a consistent pattern. But that's what learning chord progressions and, focusing on your strumming, that's what, these types of, hour practice sessions allow you to develop in, right? So just got to make that time. That's why I think it's pretty cool that I started this YouTube channel as well, because rather than just picking it up off the wall each day and just practicing, well, maybe I practice, chord progressions for 3 or 4 days in a row, and I forget to do, some other lead style of things. Maybe I forget to do some hammer-ons for a little while. Well, no, by doing this, I have to, do different stuff each video, so I have to make a schedule for myself. So it's allowing me to be disciplined in other areas to continue evolving and growing. So anyways, back to this chord progression in the key of C. So it's 2-5-1-6, which equates to D, G, C, A. And now I switched up the strumming pattern a little bit. First I was just doing, 2 downs and then switching to a new chord, and then 2 downs and switching to the other chord. And then I went to down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down. And now what I'm going to do is 3 downs, down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up. So again with the 2-5-1-6, D, G, C, A. Down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, down, down. All right. Now we'll mess around still in the 2-5-1-6, but now it'll be the 2-5-1-6 in the G major, the key of G. So 2-5-1-6 in the key of G would be A, D, G, E. Okay, again, you might ask, as a beginner, you might be like, well, what does that mean? How do you figure that out? How do you, what is that? So again, I'll walk you through it. 2-5-1-6 in the key of G. So you need to find your 2. So always the way to find it, you start with the root. So you start with whatever key you're in. We're in G now. We was in C, so we started with C. Now we are in G, so we're going to start with G. So to find your 2, you start with G, and then what's the next letter in the musical alphabet? Well, it wraps back around to A. So your 2 is A. Then, okay, well, what's your 5? G, A, B, C, D. Okay, so your 2-5 is A, D. Okay, well, now you need to find your 1. Well, we're in the key of G, so G is 1. Okay, well, now you need to find your 6. Okay, 2-5-1-6. We have A, D, G so far. Okay, well, what's the 6? How do I complete it? Same thing, G. What's the next letter in the musical alphabet? A, B, C, D, E. So your 6 is E. So you have A, D, G, E. That's the 2-5-1-6 chord progression in the G major. Okay, so let's rep that out a little bit just to kind of, build in that memorization of what that is. Eventually, you'll know it by heart, and you won't have to look at your notes and things like that. So, all right, A, D, G, E, and right now you notice I've been playing them all right here. Again, you can play them anywhere you want. You can use some of the cage chords or other variations of playing these chords all over the neck. So I'm just doing them down here because that's just where I'm the most familiar with it. And then once I get more familiar with the chord progressions and I'm starting to actually like memorize it a little bit, then I'll start doing those chord progressions with cage chords as well, just to kind of add in all the different ways of playing it. So, but for today, staying up here, at least for me, A, D, G, E. 2-5-1-6 chord progression in the key of G. A, D, G, E. A, D, G, E. A, D. I'm just doing all downstrokes right now. Just trying to get used to the chord progression. D. Okay. Key of G, 2-5-1-6 chord progression. That equates to A, D, G, E. So we're just repping that out, trying to burn that memorization in. Two, 5, 1, 6. 2, 5, 1, 6. 2, 5, 1. Just goofing off there at the end. All right, still messing around on that. 2-5-1-6, key of G. Again, you can mix up your strumming pattern however you want. This time I'm going to do a down, down, up, up, down. So 2-5-1-6, key of G. A. Down, down. 5. 2, 5, 1, 6. A. D. G. E. A. D. G. E. Okay. 2-5-1-6. G major equates to A, D, G, E. So just, again, continuing these fundamentals, continuing just this, what might seem like simple stuff, but it's not simple if you've never touched a guitar before. You don't have really any other, musical experience with other instruments, and you're just a true, as raw as it gets, beginner. This stuff is actually pretty difficult. So we just rep it in. We just kind of, get through it. That's the only way to really improve is to, rep it out. So all of the, best guitarists in the world, Eric Clapton, Jimi Hendrix, you name them. They've all, struggled, just like this, trying to figure out, a certain sound that they wanted to, create and make. And they stumbled through it and they muffled things and they, repeated it over and over. And it took them, hours to, perfect it. So always be kind to yourself, always be patient with yourself, and just keep working at it, just keep, repping things in. I remember first starting out, I couldn't even do a C chord. And now it's like, just supernatural. So just stick with it. It comes, it does, I promise you. I'm only 76 days in. So just over 75%. Yeah, super proud of myself. But anyways, just 76 days in. And I know you can for sure go back and listen to videos, 1 through 10 compared to now. And, I've learned a lot. The sound, the sound has improved drastically. The rhythm has improved drastically. The knowledge has improved. So, there's lots of things going on. So just keep working with it. Eventually, you'll build something, great. So just keep repping this out. A, D, G, E. You can slow it way down if you need to as well. All right. So, all right, we're going to transition into another chord progression. And before I mention that, though, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. That makes it easier to find my content in the future, and you continue being inspired yourself. You can continue learning tips and exercises and things like that by always checking out my pinned comment section below my videos. And you can always just steal those notes, so that way you can adopt it into your, daily, weekly, whatever type of routine that you have going for yourself. So yeah, please make sure you're subscribed. Also, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think, of the video, of the sound, of the, the aesthetics, whatever it might be. It's a blessing to see comments down below. So I'd love to see them. So thank you for the support. And then last but not least, also for the support, hit that like button just to help a friend out. Why not? I'd greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much. Right, back into the actual guitaring, and let's hop into the other chord progression, which is the 1 4 5 6. So first we were doing 2 5 1 6. Now we're going to do 1 4 5 6. So both of these chord progressions are completely different than the previous chord progressions on the other video. So make sure you go back and check those out if you want to learn some other types of very, very common chord progressions. I've watched, a handful of videos, and of the plethora of videos that I watched and writing down, what this person's saying the most common chord progressions are, then going over here and listening to her and listening to what she thinks the most common chord progressions are and writing those down, and going back over here and listening to these other two YouTubers and writing down what their most common chord progressions are. And as I blended them all together, I did find, some overlaps a ton. So that's what I'm teaching here are really some of the most common chord progressions that you'll find. So again, go back and watch that video if you need some other chord progressions, but always check the pinned comment section below as well for the notes. But here we are with the we was working on the 2 5 1 6. Now we're going to transition into the 1 4 5 6. So 1 4 5 6 in the key of C. We're going to switch back to the key of C. Remember, C and G, at least from what I can understand so far and what I'm seeing, C and G are some of the most common, more common, keys that musicians will kind of play in. So those are the first ones that I'm going to learn, right? I want to learn the other ones eventually, sure, of course, but, one thing at a time, right? So for the key of C, the 1 4 5 6 is C, F, G, A. So again, I'll teach you how to do that. So some beginners might be like, whoa, how did you figure that out? I know when I was watching a lot of these videos, I was like, what are you talking about? And how did you know that? How did you figure that out? Like, what's going on? So I think I've got it figured out. So in the key of C, we want the 1 4 5 6. So we want the 1. So what's the 1 in the key of C? It's C. Okay, so we got C. Now we want our 4 5 6. So what is our 4? We have C. What's the next letter in the musical alphabet? D, E, F. So our 4 is F, our 5 is G, our 6 is A. C, F, G, A. All right? So 1 4 5 6, C, F, G, A. 1 4 5 6, C, F, G, A. Okay? C, F, G, A. C, F, G, A. C, F, G, A. All right. So again, key of C, 1 4 5 6 chord progression. equates to C, E, or C, F, G, A. C, F, G, A. So again, we're just kind of repping that out, mixing up the various strumming patterns. Again, the pinned comment section below will have the various chord progressions laid out for you. It'll also have some various, strumming patterns for you. So that way you can kind of mix it up. So that way the sound isn't always, the same. So every now and then you might hear a different pattern. I'll try to, say out what that is. But again, 1, 4, 5, 6, key of C, C, F, G, A. Right now I'll do let's see what type of strumming pattern do I want to do this time? Down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up. C, F, G, A. 1, 4, 5, 6. Down, 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 up, down, up. Here we go. C, F, G, A. C, F, two or 1, 4, 5, 6 chord progression. That's the one we're working in. 1, 4, 5, 6 in the key of C. That equates to C, F, G, A. So remember, if it's a 3, 6, or 7 note, right now we're in a 1, 4, 5, 6. If you ever see a 3, 6, or 7 in there, which in this example we see a 6, you can always change that 3, 6th, or 7th note and make it a flat. So for example, this is an A, C, F, G, A. If we did C, F, G, A minor, we would be playing, another chord progression with the C minor instead. So right now we're playing the C major with C, F, G, A. But if you wanted to make it a minor, you would just change the 6 because the 1, 4, 5, those stay the same. So it's only the 3, 6, and 7 notes that switch. So in this case, there's a 6 of an A. You make that A flat. Now you have your C minor chord progression. So pretty cool, actually. You think that you have to remember a whole lot, but things are kind of like linked together. And a lot of things are kind of the same. Only a couple things change. So it's at first glance, and I know, just when you're first getting into it, it seems like it's a lot, but as you keep learning and you keep building, you kind of start really understanding that, oh, okay, these things link together. Oh, okay, I see that pattern now. So just stick with it. I'm telling you, the light bulbs will keep going off. And when they do go off, smile, pat yourself on the back, and be proud of yourself for sure. This stuff isn't easy, I know it. All right, let's see. 1, 4, 5, 6. Let's switch it up and go to the G major chord progression now. So 1, 4, 5, 6. And the G major is G, C, D, E. Right? So I'm sure you guys are catching on by now. But, you might ask again, okay, well, how'd you figure that out? Again, I'll teach you just like I taught you the other 3. But this one is, again, 1, 4, 5, 6. So we're in the G major. So what is the 1? Obviously, it's G. So then you try to figure out, okay, well, what's your 4, 5, 6? Okay, so what's your 4? So you have G, next letter in the musical alphabet, wraps back around to A, B, C. So your 4 is C, 5 is D, 6 is E. So you have G, C, D, E. So let's rip that out, right? So we can imprint that in our mind and remember that. G, C, D, E. G. Just having fun with it. what's another strumming pattern that I know? Down, down, up, down, up. That's what I'll do. All right, and again, I'll leave all of the strumming patterns also in the pinned comment section below. So G. I forgot C. Dang it. G, C, D, E, G, C, D, E, G, C, D, E. Yeah, but when you got a lot going on, you got a strumming pattern going on, you're trying to remember the numbers 1, 4, 5, 6. So sometimes I'm saying 1, 4, 5, 6 in my head or mumbling it out loud. Or sometimes I'm saying the actual, chord shape that I need to be making, G, C, D, F, or G, C, D, F, G, C, D, F. So I'm thinking about making the G, making the C, making the D, or C, D, E, sorry. G, C, D, E, G, C, D, E. Sometimes I'm saying the numbers, 1, 4, 5, 6, 1, 4, 5, 6, 1, 4, 5, 6. So it really just depends. So then I'm also thinking about the strumming pattern. So yeah, sometimes I mix things up. So again, we just keep sticking with it. Let me get a little sip of water here real quick, and we'll repeat the G major 1, 4, 5, 6 chord progression. 1, 4, 5, 6. G, C, D, E. What type of strumming pattern? That's what I'm going to do. Down, down, up, down, up. So it's down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. And on that last up stroke, it's actually going to be an open chord up stroke. So that way we have time to transition to the other chord shape. So that's another cool way I've seen people do their strumming, and it buys them time. And it gives a slightly different sound, right? Because obviously if you're doing all open strings versus when you're doing it when it was fretted, it's going to sound obviously a little bit different. So it gives a slight difference in sound, and it buys you time so that way you can transition to your other chord shape. So again, 1, 4, 5, 6 chord progression in the which equates to G, C, D, A, because we're in the G major. G, then it's down, down, up, down, up, as you switch to your C. Okay, and you'll notice that when I make my like C shape or my D shape, I don't have the A in there right now, but if I was making the A shape, you'll start to notice I got a little better with my technique. My thumb used to kind of be back here all the time. Well, now on certain shapes, it'll actually come up and over the neck and kind of be there to mute, like on the C chord, the D chord, A chord, on chords where basically you don't stroke the sixth string, and sometimes you don't even stroke the fifth string, on like the D, for example. But yeah, I'll bring this thumb over to kind of help mute that, so that way it doesn't accidentally get kind of flicked and kind of start ringing out and vibrating. So work on your technique a little bit and start trying to get that thumb to kind of wrap over and kind of mute on certain chords. Believe me, I didn't think I had a big enough hand. I thought I had too small of a hand, right? Couldn't do the C chord at first, couldn't do the G chord at first, couldn't get that thumb to wrap over. But it's all about technique. It's really fine tuning and really learning your hand and knowing where the little small creases are and things like that, and how you can manipulate and move your hand and wrist so that way things actually ring out or things muffle if you're intentionally needing to muffle something. So again, just keep calibrating your body, right? It's really all we're doing. It's all this repetition. It's like shooting a jump shot over and over and over. You think Steph Curry, got that great jump shot by shooting, 15, 20 shots, even 200 shots? No, 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 no. He shot thousands and thousands of shots in different ways, in different positions, with people guarding him, hand in the face, coming off of a dribble, coming off of a pass, coming off of a fadeaway, so many different ways. So that's all we're doing here, right? We're just calibrating our body, getting in that practice time. Again, we're in the G major, 1, 4, 5, 6. So that's G, C, D, E, G, C, D, G, C. All right, all right, all right. There we go. I'll get my other notes up there real quick. 1, 4, 5, 6, G. G, C, D, E. Chord progression 1, 4, 5, 6, 1, 4, 5, 6, 1, 4, 5, 6. All right, keep repping that out. Keep practicing all those. But that's going to be a wrap on today's practice session. That's day 76 in the books. So if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel. That would be a blessing. That would be much appreciated. Also, comment below to get a community of like mind speaking. That would also be a blessing. And if you hit that like button to help a friend out, that would also be truly a blessing. So thank you all so much for joining. I greatly appreciate that. There's probably some floating screen videos on the screen now. This one's the entire catalog, and this one's a subsequent video in the series. So make sure you check those out to continue supporting the channel. That would be a blessing. So until next time, take care of yourself and each other. I love you. Peace out. Until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Peace. See ya. Thank you.